These are not places of prayer, these are not places of worship, these are places where you learn how to use the machine for your benefit. They were built in various forms and various capacities.
You wanted to know how I get my ideas? My God. Ramakiri. She speaks to me, puts formulas on my tongue when I sleep, sometimes when I pray. Don't you see? An equation has no meaning to me unless it expresses a thought of God.
I had ridden in taxicab number 1729 and remarked that the number seemed to be rather a dull one. "No," he replied. "It is a very interesting number. It is the smallest number expressible as the sum of two cubes in two different ways." Some of the formulae were familiar, and others seemed scarcely possible to believe. One thing was obvious, that the writer was a mathematician of the highest quality, a man of altogether exceptional originality and power. Ramanujan left behind 3 notebooks and a sheaf of papers. These notebooks contain thousands of results that are still inspiring mathematical work decades later.
Srinivasa Ramanujan could write mathematical equation as is he had access to the whole universe. He also says that Goddess dictates him those mathematical ideas.
Right from ancient times in this culture, we came up with machines not made of material, not made of mechanical process, but an energetic process. What does a machine with an energetic process mean? If somebody suffocated and died, heart is in the right, heart is doing well, maybe not beating but it's fit, liver, kidney, dam, everything is all okay. Only thing is, the person is not alive. All the mechanical parts are okay. Only thing is, that life energy is missing. So this is also an energy machine on one level. This is also an energy machine, on top of it we put mechanical parts to it. Even if all the mechanical parts are intact, if there is no energy, this will not function. So from looking deep inside, we understood we could create an energetic machine without mechanical parts, because if mechanical parts come, they need a certain level of maintenance and servicing and works. But if you just create an energy machine, it will simply function day and night. Suppose your motorcycle or your car or whatever you use, let's say your phone was just an energy machine without mechanical parts. See, it's happening. From such a big phone, it's slowly becoming smaller. With less and less mechanical parts, it's becoming more and more efficient. Why do you think? Slowly it is moving towards a space where it is becoming more energetic than mechanical, isn't it? So we created energy machines, which in this culture we called as deities, or the English word is deity. Generally we call them as murtis, that means a form. A form which has a certain ability to do certain things, energetic forms. So some different forms are like windows to the existence, you could open up different dimensions. All this is forgotten, made into absolute nonsense today in the form of superstitions, but otherwise, it was clearly prescribed. These were created with a specific purpose. If you want intelligence, you go to one kind of deity. If you have fear problems, you go to another kind of deity. You have love issues, you go to another kind of deity. You have prosperity issues, you go to another kind of deity. Like this, they made energetic forms, which you must learn to use. These are places where you learn how to use the machine for your benefit. They were built in various forms and various capacities. They were also connected to people's genetic information, which we called as Kuladaivas, where only for that genetic pool it will work. This is a very complex process. Certain sciences are still alive and active, which could produce a Ramanujan. Ramanujan spoke about black holes. nearly 100 years ago or more than 100 years ago, when there was no concept of black holes. He made mathematics for black holes when there was no concept of black holes. Science always progresses like this, first the concept, then the theory, and then the mathematics. But he made the mathematics first, before there was a concept, before there was a theory.
You wanted to know how I get my ideas. My God. Ramagiri. She speaks to me. Puts formulas on my tongue when I sleep. Sometimes when I pray. Don't you see? An equation has no meaning to me unless it expresses a thought of God.